Hi everyone. Welcome back to The Road Growing Up, the place where we slow down and talk about the things we often carry silently. Thank you for being here. If you're new, this channel is all about honest conversations, real struggles, and the quiet journey of growing up. If that sounds like something you need, consider subscribing, leaving a comment, or simply sitting with me for the next few minutes as we explore something that's probably been on your mind too. So let me ask you something right at the start. Should you work harder or should you think smarter? It's a question that many of us, especially in our 20s or 30s, wrestle with silently. You're trying your best. You're putting in the hours. You're checking off every box. But somehow, you're still stuck. You're still behind. You're still exhausted. And even worse, you're not even sure if all this effort is leading somewhere meaningful. Let me take you back to something that used to define my life. I was the kind of person who believed that hard work was the ultimate answer. If I wasn't making progress, the solution was always the same: work harder, sleep less, do more, keep going. I thought discipline was everything, and if I could just push through the pain, I'd eventually succeed. I'd finally feel proud, but I didn't. Instead, I found myself running in place, always busy, never satisfied, always tired, never truly fulfilled. And the worst part, I thought the problem was me, that I just wasn't good enough, that I wasn't trying hard enough, that I had to hustle even more. Until one day, I stopped and asked a very simple question: is all this effort even moving me in the right direction? Because here's the painful truth: you can work incredibly hard and still go nowhere. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine two people in a dense forest. One is chopping trees down all day without stopping to look up. The other climbs a tree first, looks around, and realizes there's a better path just a few hundred meters away. Who's actually making progress? Sometimes we're so deep in our routines that we don't even realize we're chopping in the wrong direction. And that's the trap of working hard without thinking smart. Let's look at two very real examples that reflect this. First, meet Sarah. She works in marketing. Every day, she responds to dozens of emails, attends back-to-back meetings, and stays online late to meet deadlines. Her calendar is full. She feels productive. But months go by, and she realizes she's not actually learning anything new. She hasn't been promoted. She's exhausted, and her creativity is gone. She's just surviving. Then there's Daniel. He also works in marketing, but he starts his mornings with 30 minutes of quiet thinking. He reviews his goals, reflects on the tasks that matter most, and plans deep work sessions. He protects his time fiercely, says no to unnecessary meetings, and focuses on results over appearances. He may look like he's doing less, but in 6 months, he's built a campaign that brings in massive results. He gets noticed. He grows. Both Sarah and Daniel are working, but only one is working smart. This isn't about shaming people who work hard. Hard work is honorable. It builds resilience. It teaches discipline. But if that's all you rely on, without direction, without intention, then hard work can become a trap. You see this often in school too. Some students spend 8 hours reading textbooks, highlighting every sentence. Others spend 2 hours reviewing key concepts, testing themselves with practice questions, and identifying gaps in their understanding. Guess who ends up retaining more? It's not about effort alone. It's about strategy. Now, here's something that may surprise you. Some of the most successful people in the world don't necessarily work the longest hours, but they think better. They choose better problems to solve. They ask better questions. They spend more time planning and less time reacting. For example, Warren Buffett reads for hours every day. Jeff Bezos is known for making a few high-quality decisions per day, not for having the busiest schedule. Bill Gates think weeks just to sit with ideas. These are people who understand that smart thinking amplifies the value of their actions. And that brings me to you. Have you taken time lately to really evaluate what you're doing? Not just how busy you are, but what your busyness is accomplishing. Try asking yourself, what are my top 3 goals right now? Which tasks actually move me toward them? What am I doing just to feel productive, but not really making progress? When I started asking myself those questions, things changed. I let go of projects that looked impressive but didn't excite me. I reduced meetings. I stopped multitasking. I created space to think, and that space became more valuable than any checklist I used to complete. Thinking smarter also includes rest. That's something many of us underestimate. Rest is not laziness. Rest is renewal. Some of your best insights will come not when you're grinding, but when you're walking, reading, reflecting, or even doing nothing. When you're constantly on, your brain doesn't have time to connect dots. But when you slow down, truly slow down, clarity returns. Creativity returns. And with them, progress follows. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Some of you might be thinking, that's great advice, but I can't afford to slow down. I have bills to pay, responsibilities. I don't have the luxury to reflect. I hear you, but thinking smart isn't about quitting your job or meditating for hours. It's about small choices with big impact. Taking 10 minutes in the morning to plan your day with intention. Saying no to one unnecessary task per week. Automating one process that drains your time. Delegating when possible. Investing in learning, not just performing. Every small step counts, because smart work doesn't just reduce stress, it compounds results. Like interest, the earlier you start, the more it grows. Let's look at another comparison. Imagine two people learning a new language. One studies random vocabulary for hours, without context. The other learns words and sentences, practices speaking, listens to conversations, and reflects on mistakes. Same goal, very different strategies. Who's more likely to actually speak the language fluently? So it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters, and letting go of what doesn't. And here's a personal truth. Working smarter is not always easy. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable. It forces you to stop hiding behind bussiness. It demands clarity. Before we end, I want to leave you with this. If you feel stuck, maybe you're not lazy, maybe you're not broken, maybe you're just tired from running in circles. And what you really need isn't more hustle, but more clarity, more thinking time, more honest reflection. The world needs people who are not just hard workers, but conscious ones, who know when to pause, when to pivot, when to say no, and when to go all in. So ask yourself again, should you work harder or think smarter? The answer might just change everything. Thank you for being here. This is The Road Growing Up, and we grow not just by doing, but by becoming more intentional with every step. If this message resonates with you, leave a comment, share what you're learning about your own journey, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. We have more real conversations coming soon. Until next time, take care of your mind, not just your schedule.
Lên 8 phút nữa.